All right, folks, welcome back. We have got another of Marty's Daily Sudoku. It's a medium puzzle. Let's give it a whirl, shall we? Okay, the first thing I am noticing is there's these cool little alleys. These cool little alleys. I saw like a 5 and a 6 and I brought it down looking for a 5 and a 6. Didn't see anything, but I saw this 3 that covers this alley and this 3 that goes right down this lane, leaving this as the only spot. So anytime I see these alleys like this and like this, see there's one spot left, I always like to look at them. 2 down the left, 2 down the right, 2 across the top, only one spot left for the 2. We got a nice set of alleys over here, a 3 and a 3 and a 3, makes this a 3. We have a 1 and an 8 that go down this alley. We have a 3 that comes down this alley, this lane or alley. It's kind of eyeballing those. We have a 2 comes down this lane and a 2 that comes down this lane, leaving just one spot for a 2. Okay, so we've got a lane here and a lane here. Let's see what we've got. We got a 1 that comes down this lane, a 1 that comes down this lane, leaving this as a 1. 2 and an 8 already there. 5 across. Okay. Just kind of looking at those alleys, looking at those lanes. See this 9 comes right through the middle. So we have to have a 9 left or right. That's kind of purty. We got a 4 that comes through the middle. Got some 1s. Cool. We got some 1s down here, left and right. And across the top. So only one spot left for the 1 there. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Just kind of looking here. We've got a 2 that goes down this lane and a 2 that goes down this lane, leaving just one spot left for the 2. Like that. I like that. Okay, so anytime there's 3 numbers or less, I like to look and see what they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need a 5, and I can't have a 5 here. And I can't have a 5 here. So this is actually the only spot left for a 5. And then I need a 6 and then an 8. A 6 and an 8, and I have a helpful 6 here. Says it can't be there, so that has to be my 8. That has to be my 6. Very good. We like that. Now I have a 6 now that goes down this lane and a 6 that goes down this lane, leaving this the only spot for a 6. All right. Looks like I've got 3 numbers missing here. So I've got a 1, a 2, a 3. I need a 4. I cannot have a 4 down here, but I could have a 4 here or here. Okay, I've got a 5. I've got a 6. I need a 7. Now it looks like a 7 could go any of those places, and then I need an 8. Okay, and then I need a 9, and it looks like a 9 could go either place. So I'm going to leave that out for just a moment. Okay, there we go. Let's see what else we have. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start looking for pairs. I kind of was doing pairs a little earlier. That's just because that's what I'm used to doing, is I always, I go horizontally. Okay, there's 3s, there's 2s. What kind of pairs do we have that can help us out? We have a pair of 8s vertically. I know I'm kind of jumping around here, but looking horizontally, I don't see any other pairs that we haven't already gotten. Now this 1 does come down the bottom, and this 1 comes up. Okay, cool. So here's a set of pairs of 1s. That leaves us only a 1 here. And then if we go vertically with these 2 and the 1 on the bottom, there's only one spot left for the 1 here. And I think that's all of our 1s. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All the 1s for the game. That's all of them. Okay, cool. This 8 now goes across here. Only one spot left for the 8. All right, so I have a 4, a 9, and a 7 all right here. Binka, 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 4, 9, and a 7. So that tells me what these 3 are is whatever's left. Now I've got 2 5s that come across the top in the middle, so the only spot Left for the 5 is there. So if these are my 4s and 7s, I guess I need a 2 and a 6. Is that right? 2 and a 6. And see, I have a 2 and a 6 in this block, so they can't be down here. So my 2 and 6 have to be here, and I have a helpful 2. So 2 has to go here. And then 6 is the only place left for that one to go. All right, now I've got 2 numbers missing here. And one of them is a 6, but it can't be here because there's already a 6. So this one has to be my 6. And then I'm just counting that up. Looks like I'm missing a 9. Has to go there. Only number left. All right. Very good. So now we only got 3 numbers over here. We only got 3 numbers over here. Looks like my 4s are going to be kind of a little tricky during this game. Got 3 this way. I'm just kind of still looking for pairs. Okay, so I got a 1, 3, 8, and 5. 1. Okay, cool. So I don't have the 3. So 3 and 3 leaves this as the only spot left for my 3. All right, now I got 2 numbers left. 1, 2, 3. I need a 4, 5, 6, and a 7. So let me double lock those guys real quick. A 4 and a 7, 4 and a 7. Looking vertically, see if there's anything to help me. There is not. Now if I count all the way, 1, 2, 3, one of these two is my 4, 5. I need a 6, and then a 7, 8, and a 9. So these two have to be a 6 and a 9. And I have a 9 here that's helpful. So this one can't be a 9, so that has to be a 6, has to be a 9. And we're locking those in. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, so now I got the top 3. Again, just kind of looking for pairs. I see a pair of 2s. I need a 2 in this block. So my 2 has to go here. 1, 2, 3. And then I need a 4 and a 7. 4 and a 7, just like these 4 and 7s. Looking vertically, I don't have a 4 or 7 to help me out yet. So I will pencil those guys in. And now that's all cleaned up. I'd like to pencil this guy in, but I don't want to add all those 4s and 7s just yet. Let's continue on and see if we can get some more pencil marks out of the way. Okay, let's look for pairs on the bottom. So we've got all 1s already, all 3 1s. We got all 3 2s. We have a 3 that comes across and a 3 that comes down. So the 3 has to be top or bottom. We do have a 3 down the right side, and again, that same 3 here, so 3 has to be top or bottom. That's helpful. 4. Now this 4 goes right down this lane, and so there's actually only 2 spots for a 4. Now remember we had a 4, 7, and 9. 2 spots for a 9, that's why I wrote it in. Now with these 2 here, this is called a ghost row. Cannot have a 4 here or here anymore, because one of these 2 has to be a 4. So that means that my 4 can only be in 2 spots, so I'm writing it down. I wait for it to be 2 spots. Helps me keep my pencil marks a little clean. Okay, so there's my 4. So this 5 comes across. There's a 5 here that comes down. So our 5 has to be here or here. Okay. Now I still have 4 spots for my 5, so I'm not going to write those down just yet. All right, so now the 6 comes across, and I have a 6 that comes down. So now these 5 and 6 are what I'm calling, see this 5 and 6 here come down, and this 5 and 6 come across. These 2 cells are now what I call double locked. No matter how you slice and dice it, you cannot put another number there. If this is a 5, this is a 6. If this is a 6, this is a 5. No matter how you do it, you can't put a 7 or a 9. Even though there's no other way to tell you that a 7 couldn't go in here, by double locking the cells, you eliminate the possibility of a 7 going there. So when you're playing these mediums, hards, and very hards, you've got to pay attention to some of these pencil marks, because this is the only way you'll find out that some of these cells get locked and limit what they can be. Okay, so very, very important. Now this 6 also comes across the top, and this 6 down the left side. So we get these 2 are going to be a 6. Now this also gives me a ghost row, ghost column. So up here in this top left cube, This 6 comes up. This 6 comes across. So one of these two has to be a 6. Well, if you notice, these two are lined up in a column. No matter which one becomes a 6, it cannot go here. So that makes this one our 6. Now the other way to look at it is if you look at this column, this can't be a 6 because you have one here. This one can't be a 6 because it has one there, so this is the only spot for it too. But I always like to take this opportunity to teach about ghost rows and ghost columns. Those help out quite a bit too. Okay, now I've got 2 cells left. So I've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6. I now need a 7 and an 8. 7 and an 8. Okay, so let me jot those in. Just two numbers, 7 and an 8. All right, so let's look back here on this bottom cube where we got these double locks in, because that can help us out quite a bit as well. 1, 2, we've got our 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I need a 7, which still can be any 3. I don't have any way to lock that out. We've got our 8, and then I need a 9, and a 9 can still go everywhere. So I'm going to not mark that just yet. Now I did notice this 9 does come up through the center, and there's only 2 spots for the 9. So I'm going to write that in just to help me with my pencil marks. What else here? So I've got 2 9s here, down the left, down the center, and then down the middle. So a 9 has to go in one of these 2 spots. Okay. Very good. Let's see, do I have any other pairs? We were looking at the 5s and the 6s. We were looking at the 7s. Let's look at the 8s for a moment. Now this 8 comes across and this 8 comes down. So do you guys notice this? Do you remember these 3s? See this 3 and this 3 and this 3? Tell us that these 2 cells have to be a 3. Now this 8 and this 8 line up exactly the same. You remember these 5s and 6 that were double locked? These 2 cells are now double locked as 3s and 8s. They cannot be anything else. That now makes this cell the only cell that could be a 4. Just by elimination. Now, guess what this one has to be? Remember we're having a hard time with 7s? Only because we could double eliminate these. There is nothing else to tell us that this is a 7. But I can now tell you it is a 7 because there is no other place for it to go. That now also tells me that one of these 2 have to be my 7. That's what I've been waiting for the cleanup. Okay, so now we have that 7 in there. We also have this 3 and 8. And then you'll look in this column, the only other number this can be is a 7 and 9. Those clean up as well. Okay, so now we're cleaning up pretty good. We've got a 5 and a 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it looks like I'm not getting much help with the 5s over here. 6 is one of these 2. I do have a 7 now that goes across the bottom. Okay, cool. There we go. So there we go. So see the 7 that goes across the bottom? This is locked already, so it can't be a 7 even if it wanted to. But that tells me that a 7 has to go across the top, which tells me this cannot be a 7 because I now have a ghost row. One of these 2 is a 7, and that'll stop this from being a 7. So that has to be an 8. That has to be a 7. Now if that's a 7, that makes this one our 9, makes this one our 7, makes this one our 4, makes this one our 9. It just kind of cascades and resolves. Now if this is our 9, this one has to become our 4. Now we've got 2 numbers missing here, which looks like a 5 and a 7. And we do have a helpful 7 now. Thank you, Mr. 7. Which makes this as a 5, makes this as a 7. That cleans up nice and handy dandy. We got 2 numbers missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like a 5, 6, 7, and an 8. We have a helpful 8 here, so this can't be 8, so it has to be our 5. There's our 8. Now this 8 helps us here. This can't be an 8 anymore. So what number's missing there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4 come down here and helps us. This has to be our 7. This one has to be our 4. Now one of these two was a 7, but it can't be here anymore. So that makes this one our 7. One of these two was a 3. So when I make this a 7, that one forces this one to become our 3. Now if this is a 3, there's our 8, and there's our 3. All right, so these two double locked only leaves one number left here, which is a 9. All right, so this can't be a 9 anymore. So there's our 9, there's our 6. If that's a 6, that's a 5. If that's a 5, that's a 6. Now we just have one number missing horizontally, which looks like a 4. 1, 2, 3, yep, a 4. This 4 comes up and makes this one a 7. This 7 makes this one a 4. That's why it's so important to keep pencil marks, because when they just fall like dominoes, you can cascade them really easy and they just all solve themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 5. Well, it can't go here, so it has to go here. 6 and 7. That ornery 7. There you go, folks. We had a lot of good double locks in this game. Double locks were very key. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I always recommend pausing it at the beginning of the show, print you off a couple copies and play along with. As always, welcome any comments, suggestions, or challenges. And thanks for watching, folks. We'll catch you next time.